Spellcasting, Part 2. Some information for you to build upon. In the previous post, I touched briefly upon how the chakras, the planets, and the gods all relate to a frequency of vibration. I told you how the chakras can be in or out of tune with each other. I also showed you an easy way to tell how in tune your chakras are by whether or not you are frowning or smiling. I would like you to research Dr. Emoto and his experiments on sound and intent towards water and organic matter. This should give you some insight why almost all religions suggest a blessing of some sort before eating. All this is background knowledge for you to build upon when contriving your spell. Students familiar with this system are already aware of the body and temple of God connection. The student is also familiar with my exhortation to exercise discretion. Good spell doesn't need to be a long, flowery prose. Imagine yourself confronted with a situation and you start chanting a long spell.
By all the powers that get thee away from me, so mote me.
Yeah, that's professional. No, you need something discreet, concise, yet effective. So consider a common human reaction that almost everyone does, but nobody really pays attention to. When a problem or a puzzle is posed to the average human, if they do not know the answer immediately, almost 9 times out of 10, the first initial reaction is hesitancy because of the uncertainty. Everybody says, and often this is accompanied by touching or rubbing the forehead where the third eye is felt to be located. It might come out as or even duh when stupefied. This initial noise we make is an obvious variation on the classical sound or mantra we all know and love as Om. This is considered in most ancient Vedic-based traditions to be the primal sound of the universe. It is considered the supreme seed mantra of all existence, being the beat of Lord Shiva's handheld Damaru drum, both creating and destroying existence. Classically, Lord Shiva is the Lord of entropy, but he also holds a place as the progenitor of all beings, which is why some people associate the Shiva lingam with the human penis. While this may be metaphorically correct, the tell is how you perceive this concept. The more base or profane you are, the more likely you are to dwell on the penis aspect. The more spiritually advanced you are, the more likely you are to grasp the greater cosmic and esoteric motive behind the Shiva lingam. Sex will acquire a level of sanctity you may have missed before, and masturbation will seem childish and unsophisticated. Your psychic energies will increase naturally. So now you are aware of the great seed mantra of the universe and how humans inadvertently apply this sound more frequently than previously realized. With this knowledge, you can write a little spell consisting merely of a few syllables and tones, if you like, but the words must be intoned or vibrated. This is a fancy way of saying sing. I'm telling you these things so that you will use your wits to comprise a personal and effective psychological device we are calling a spell. If I were to just say, here, read this poem in front of a picture of Jesus, then the work has been done for you and the spell will be less effective if it works at all. Anything worth having is worth earning. Although they sometimes do work immediately, a spell generally takes some time to work its magic. The time duration has often been referred to as a spell, as in sit a spell, or stay a while. You've probably already made the connection between the word spell and phonetics, reading, and writing. You don't need me to spell it out for you. I won't spell it out for you, but I will show you how to sound it out. Spell writing has a long history and tradition, much which has come down to us now as classical poetry or verse, which was once originally a spell. Sarcasm is a form of spell, as is satire. Much of the music we listen to is a spell, as you have probably discovered by accident. If you are a beginning student, my advice is that you cast a spell for wisdom. With wisdom, you know what to do because you have the experience, or you can draw from other similar experiences to apply to similar situations. With all of this in mind, you are ready to determine the correct spell for you. I will still use wisdom as an example. Already, the Om sound is at the end of the word, so the word itself can be the spell or part of it. Wisdom. A spell is generally used to create a situation. There are several magical theories about how to go about accomplishing this. The simplest, of course, is the rhyme or poem, as previously mentioned. Poem or rhyme repeated daily at the same time in the same ritualistic fashion is the easiest method I know of, but some spells can become pretty complicated. Different circumstances require particular directives custom designed for that unique situation, although there are general spells of love, power, and wealth which the ambitious student may easily obtain. Throughout the course of this series, we will examine some of the methods you can use to cast effectual spells for just about any occasion. But you must be aware that these are simply devices or tools to help you achieve an end. Should you, at any time, feel an entity wants an exchange of energy or activity in return for some favor, stop what you are doing immediately and reassess the situation before proceeding further. This ends part 2 of the essay on spell casting. Real masters have no need to advertise. It's called a cult for a reason. It's between you and God. The author, Magical, is not a qualified psychologist or therapist in any fashion. Please seek the help of a qualified professional if you need to. However, I hope for this series of posts and others to help other people as I explore myself and discuss dreams and other related things. So feel free to comment if you like, as I'm always willing to learn. So tell your friends. Love, Magical.
By all the powers that be, get thee away from me, so mote it be.